Aloha and welcome to Spirit Chat. You probably noticed I left out the radio this time. I'm going to be trying to change that to just welcome to Spirit Chat, and there's going to be a very good reason for that. I realized that I probably should be recording these with video, these podcasts, because I'm basically speaking to my computer right now, hand movements and all, like I'm speaking to you anyways. But I've been doing podcasting for so long that I just kind of kept doing podcasting. Plus, I don't have to put on makeup and everything. But that being said, since my YouTube stuff has started to grow quite a bit, I thought, well, I might as well diversify, do some recording where you can actually see me via video for those of you who have not been in any of my groups. And then you can go, oh, hey, that's what you look like, So the beginning will probably change, and this is going to be a really good podcast that I'm going to get into on the new black supermoon. I think that you're going to find this information very helpful, which is why I'm doing the podcast. But before I get into that, I want to talk to you about something new that I'm doing. Yes, I'm doing the empath school. Yes, it's still moving along. I am working so hard on that for you guys because I want it to just be so good and so clear. And I've been going over it with colleagues and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And that made me feel good because you never know. Sometimes I think, is anybody even going to care about this? I also think that about podcasts. And then I do the podcast and people are like, wow, that was awesome. So I just keep trying not to stop myself from doing things because I'm like, does anybody even really notice? That being said, I'm still working on it. I'm still shooting for August. We'll see what happens in that regard. However, the one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, sorry about that noise. The one thing that I wanted to talk to you about that's new that I'm pretty excited about is I started doing text alerts for energy reports and for just different things because I noticed that I'm not a huge lover of Facebook or social media, which most of you who follow me knows, but I definitely will get on there and post things for you guys. And especially like in my Facebook groups, I will definitely get on there and help answer questions and do all of those things because to me, that's more, my spirit community and interacting with that. But there's been times that I can feel some things shifting and I don't necessarily need to do a whole podcast on it, or I don't necessarily need to do a long energy report on it. But there'll be times where I will know that you'll need some extra protection that next couple nights. And I just kind of want to leave it at that. Like, hey, do this. Actually, this energy that we're going through right now is a very good example. I sent out a text to my group that basically was talking about the veil thinning. So the veil is thinning right now with this new black supermoon. And what's happening while it's thinning is those of you who are sensitive are going to need some extra protection. So I sent out a text basically saying the veil is thinning. You're going to want to be doing some extra protection for the next few nights. Make sure you clear or smudge your room before bed. And I'm going to continue to do that because I think that people really enjoy that. And they've actually been, commenting back to me saying, I really thank you. I really like that. I think that people are going to find this very helpful. I will also post in there things about when I do this podcast, for instance, that'll go out to my text list because I don't want everybody feeling like they have to be on Facebook all the time to make sure they get my energy reports. I feel like with Gmail or, the mail system I use, I feel like that a lot of that gets sent to spam. So I just want a way that I can give you a quick update and during that part of your day, you're like, okay, wow, yep, I got to remember this. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in getting some spiritual reminders or updates on new moons, full moons, whether the energy, another report I wished I didn't have the text thing done, but I wished I would have been able to do another text alert on was when the energy was very turbulent. It was, I think it was last week. And it was very turbulent and it was causing a lot of irritability. And so that would have been a good text alert to send out just saying, hey, FYI, if you're not irritated, your spouse or somebody you know probably is, just so that you know, it's kind of an energetic thing, because I feel like that's helpful. I feel like then you can be like, oh, okay, it's not just me. They're not just irritated with me, or it's not just me being irritated at the world or whatever, right? So in order to get on that list, you need to either go to, also, I have a new website also, which I feel like is a lot simpler. And that is, you can either go to empowered-empath.com to go find out the text number. I'll give it to you here as well, just in case that you don't want to do all those things, but sometimes you guys are driving or whatever, and so you may not be able to do this. So I will put the link to empowered-empath.com, and you can go over there, and it's right on the front page where you can text me. If you want to get on the text list directly, all you have to do is text Spirit Chat, just like it sounds, to 866-287-5624. Don't text put me on the list or anything like that, because the way that the system works, that won't put your number in. So you have to text Spirit Chat to that number, 866-287-5624. And then you will go on the list, and when I have some energy updates during the month or whatever that I'm not going to elaborate too much on, or if I want to send you like a new podcast I've done or whatever, you'll get a link saying, hey, just did a podcast on this, or make sure that you're watching for XYZ, or spirit activity is higher right now, things that I would like to know if I was in your shoes. That's kind of how I'm working this whole thing, is I want to send you, texts that I would want to know. So, and plus, the funny thing is, my daughter's the one who kind of got me doing this, because she's like, Mom, why are you not sending? Because she'll be like, well, this happened or that happened. And I'm like, well, yeah, because it's the energy doing this, or Mercury retrograde, or, full moon, new moon. She's like, Mom, why are you not sending texts for this? Like, I could totally use this. So my own family is like, can you please just make a text list and just send us out stuff when there's like stuff going down? Like, I need to be on a text list that you're doing. So it's really funny, but they're the ones who started this. So that being said, I'm going to get into my new Black Supermoon podcast. And do keep in mind, of course, I'm going to move this out of my way, the whole empath school that I'm going to be telling you about, updates. Anyways, so new Black Supermoon is actually on July 31st. I will be posting this right before July 31st. So that's when it's happening. But there's a lot of stuff going on with this new moon energy. Black moon, because I know people are going to ask, is really the second new moon in July. There's a lot of different terms for black moon, like a lot of different things that people call a black moon, but specifically for this one, it's because of the second new moon in July. But we are also having a supermoon with this, and Mercury will be going direct the same day. So what does that mean? And I'm going to talk about that right now. So if I end up repeating it in a little bit, because I kind of talk about that in a second. I had people ask me, well, what does that mean if Mercury's going direct? Well, when you have a Mercury retrograde, it's Mercury's going forward. And there's a point where when Mercury retrograde stops, as it's moving forward, it actually stops and starts going backwards. And that's retrograde. It's moving backwards. But there also has to be a point when it stops again and starts moving forward. And that's what Mercury going direct means, is that's the same day that it's going to stop and then move forward again, moving us out of retrograde. So in case you were wondering, that's what that means. But what does this mean for you? Like, truthfully, like, who cares when it is, right? I mean, but how's this affecting my life? That's what I would want to know. Like, I don't really care. Just tell me how it affects my life. So what does this mean for you? what it means is you're going to be feeling some different urges, and the energy might be affecting you in the way that it's going to be affecting a lot of people who are sensitive. So some of the urges that you're probably feeling, or you might be feeling, is the urge to clear energetic clutter. And that really means to kind of clear up some stuff energetically, but that also means to reorganize and clear things physically as well, because physical things are also energetic and they can hold stagnant energy. So you might be feeling the urge to, tie up any loose ends as well. You might feel the urge to handle emails that you've been kind of putting off and they've just been sitting in your inbox. You might feel the urge to clean your office, or take stuff off your kitchen counter that's been sitting there for a while, or open some mail or pay some bills that you've been putting off. So with this new black supermoon energy, you're going to have the urge to want to clear energetic space. And what that means is tying up loose ends, handling some other stuff, but feeling like the energy is like moving, the stagnant energy is not sitting there collecting, that you're like getting it away. So it's not just collecting, like imagine the energy like dust, like you're wanting to clear the dust off your bookshelf, off your bookends, right? So that's kind of the urge. And this also ties in with feeling the urge to make room for new projects or things that you're wanting to accomplish in the up and coming months. So this also ties in with the energy of kind of moving some stuff around in your life, or handling some stuff so that some things that you've been working on can kind of manifest, or you're ready for it when it comes, right? You're just ready to handle it because you've handled all the stuff on the back end. You're clear, you handled your stuff, and you're ready to go. That's kind of how that feels. It's also going to be this is also a time where some unresolved issues or feelings will need to be addressed, resolved, or forgiven. So this is going to be especially pertaining to current or past relationships. And what I mean by that is the new moon, again, is all about, it's always about pulling energetic stuff to the surface that you're kind of holding on to or not down with, whether it be current or you've kind of held on to it for like a year, or energetic, or like a relationship energetically, just it's kind of stuck there. So you might have dreams about an ex or a family member, or there might be some issues that come up with somebody, a loved one, or any type of person you'd be in a relationship with, whether it be intimate or not intimate, where there's like energetic stuff that you're holding on to is most likely surfacing at this time. Now is not the time to just like barrel through and push things or try to pick all that energy up that you're not wanting to deal with from your past or currently, and just shove it all in a box and slap a lid on it. Now's not the time to do that. You want to keep in mind that now's the time to resolve any upsetting feelings or any residual stuff that you're carrying from that. And it's really a time to connect with your heart chakra and make peace somehow. Like use your perspective to view the situation differently, or use your heart energy to be like, okay, I feel like this was done to me, or I feel like this was kind of a crappy situation, or I feel like I'm unresolved about this because I'm still mad about it. This is the time to really, because the heart chakra is really tied into this energy, it's the time to just go, you know what? Maybe I wasn't entirely in the right there, or maybe, I can see the good in this person in events other than what happened. Or I can see that the intention was not necessarily just to wreck up my day or my life. You know what I mean? So now's the time to open your heart and just realize that within relationships, a lot of people don't recognize that, you're part of another whole, greater whole. There's you and someone else and maybe a few more other people, whatever, whether it be a family relationship or whatever. But Not everybody's perfect, and people make mistakes, and sometimes we hold grudges. It's just, when you're hurt, when you're angry, you hold grudges. And so it's easier to hold on to that than to go, you know what, I'm human, they're human, and this really doesn't feel good to hold on to this. Like, I feel like it just needs to be like, I'm tired of it, and it just, I'm ready to let it go. So this is a really good time to understand and connect with that energy, because the energy of the heart chakra is going to be really powerful right now. So you'll want to keep in mind that making peace when it comes to current or past relationship stuff, or making peace with the energy, first of all, doesn't mean you have to necessarily talk to those people, because you could have unresolved issues from a mother who's passed, or a father who's passed, where you're still feeling like they're kind of all up in your energy field and you haven't forgiven them or whatever for something. You don't have to have that person in front of you. It's your responsibility to kind of figure out how that you can resolve and open the heart chakra in a way that it releases any that of grudge energy or any hurt energy. So as you activate the heart chakra, and as you kind of try to work with your heart chakra, the heart chakra is a really good place to then, it'll dissipate feeling, how people talk about cutting cords? It'll dissipate that energy where your energetic body, without you knowing, is kind of clinging to some, toxic stuff or toxic memories or some things that cause you angst or anger or anxiety or whatever. So when you try to view it differently, the heart chakra opens, it begins to activate, and it helps to just gently dissipate the cords that you are tied to those feelings, and then it allows that crappy energy to be released from your energy field. So it works in a very nice manner. So again, keeping in mind that making peace is not forcing an outcome that fits your timeline or that fits your desires. So you don't be going into any relationship situation trying to force upon, your perspective that, well, yeah, but I'm right, even though I'm going to let this go, I'm right. Or like, I needed this to happen to, resolve this. It's not a time to put conditions on it. It's just a time to just let it go, Making peace does not mean you're forcing an outcome in some way. You're giving an ultimatum in some way. You're just like, you know what I mean? I guess I don't know how else to put that. And it's also the time where if you do these things and you make peace with some hurt or unresolved things that are going on with yourself, now's the time that actually, as you are open to the outcome of how these things are going to resolve, that it's actually going to allow some opportunity to unfold for you in the next few months. It doesn't even mean that opportunity is tied to a relationship, but it means that by addressing some energy that is very heavy for you, and that you're holding on to in a way that's not working well with your energy field, by releasing that energy with heart chakra, it's going to allow other very cool energy to come through. And it might be that affects your money, might be that affects your job, might be that affects just joy in your life. You know what I'm saying? So we're working with the heart chakra to release energy, to allow opportunity. This all works together with this new black supermoon. Now, however, there is a hiccup with this, and it is the Mercury going direct. And I kind of talked about that, but that is that it is switching stations, which means it's going backwards to now moving forward. And the issue with that is, as we're dealing with some other stuff in our lives that necessarily do not pertain to relationships, but it's pertaining to our productivity and that sort of thing, or maybe intentions that we're setting, or just whatever creative energy that we got going on, whether it be work or hobby, or just like, a vision that you're kind of trying to put together. That means that you're going to feel like you're stuck in very thick, energetic mud. And why that is because as Mercury kind of stops and moves forward, the energetic flow will slow way down. So the energy that you're feeling is going to like feel like it's really moving slow. So this can affect a lot of things. You feeling lethargic, tired, even unproductive. Like, so you maybe are like all excited about something in your head, but then you just want to sit on the couch and watch movies, that kind of thing. So things might not quite be working out right now the way that you hope that they would. So you may have had an opportunity, or maybe you're making plans, or you're trying to manifest a certain thing. And this is the time for a minute. It's not going to last a long time, but where you're feeling like frustrated, or like you're feeling behind, or that things are not quite working out. Especially when, like I said, when it comes to like goal setting or things you're trying to manifest, or how, even if you're physically been working towards something, it could even be losing weight, diet, money, job, whatever, career. And so it might feel like you're not on track, or you should be further along than you are. And that's where you can and might feel very frustrated, because with these two things happening, you have this very big urge to create and clear energy and make way, because you can see it. You can see your goal like right down the road. You can see where you're headed to. So like you have all this urge to like really clear a path and really move towards that. And yet you just find that you're sitting on the couch while you're seeing it, and you're not really doing anything. And then you're just really tired and want to take a nap. So it can feel very frustrated, and it can feel like you have two energies, polar energies, and two different urges working against each other. So it's something that can feel like a push-pull. Like, why is not all of me on board? Like I have this urge, but then my body's like, yeah, I'm not really down for that right now. So it can feel like frustrated. But not to worry, because as we move into August, the planetary energy speeds up again. And there will be some force behind this. So as we're moving through into the next few months, as Mercury starts going direct and moving forward again, and some other stuff starts happening as we pass the new moon and this super new moon energy, this is actually going to propel you and push you through any energetic mud that you feel like you're stuck in. And it's going to actually propel you towards and through energy of intentions that you have set. So where you might be feeling frustrated and you got two polar opposites working against each other, all of a sudden, shortly after, as we get into August, you're going to have some really fast moving, like intense energy moving you towards whatever your goal is for September and October. And that means, again, some opportunities and different things that will come up. But the whole key here is to be working with the heart chakra, remember, because that's really being activated right now. And working with this heart chakra to feel more love and dissolve some, energetic cords that you're just like holding on to, is all resolving some frustrations about things. And it doesn't all have to pertain to a relationship. It can just, this heart chakra stuff is a really good time to go, you know what? I just don't want to hold on to this anymore. Like, this is frustrating me. I'm feeling upset about this, but I'm over it, and keeping this energy doesn't feel good to me. It's not suiting me, because most of that energy does not suit you. We hold on to it anyways, and then our mind starts going. So now's a good time to work through all of that and just go, you know what? I'm tired of trying to hold on to it. Imagine it kind of like you're up on a ladder, and you're holding on to some rope that has 50-pound weights at the bottom of each of your ropes. So you're just like, you know what, or kettlebells or something, and you're like, I just want to drop these. Like, I just, like, it's heavy, it's hurting my body, it's making me frustrated in my head. So I have to let it go. Like, just now's a good time. Just let the kettlebells drop. Okay, so it's time to let it go. And don't let them drop in a way that like you're like, oh, I need it to be over here in this position and I need it to work out this way. I need this picture to look like this. Worst thing you can do right now is so you need to not hold on to a vision of how things unfold. Because if you do that, you're going to cause some blocks and energy blocks with this new cool opportunity energy. So you want to trust that there's already stuff in the making to kind of line you out that way. Okay. So I hope, as always, that you found this podcast helpful. And I'm going to be doing the energy reports. I'm going to keep doing that. So I'm going to say the number again, just in case that you still want to get on the list, which is you're going to have to text Spirit Chat to 866-287-5624. If you're driving or in the office or wherever running and you don't remember that, I will leave a link below to the website. So you'll want to go over to empowered-empath.com. That's where I'm sending everybody from here on out because I feel like it's simpler. I will have the link to my spirit community on there. I will have the link to the Empath University on there. I will have the Spirit Chat stuff, the texting, the iTunes, the YouTube, everything. Also, do not forget to subscribe to iTunes or to YouTube if you're enjoying this podcast, so that you don't miss the next few podcasts or whatever. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's like super important. So if you like, subscribe, share, comment below too, because that's been my new thing. I've been trying to interact with you guys who are necessarily not in my Facebook group, but I'm really loving the comments. So I'm trying to do that within the first couple hours, and even I try to check back even in the first 24 hours to, talk to you if you have a comment or whatever. So that's been really nice to see your guys' comments. If you enjoyed it, if you're experiencing some of the same stuff, I don't know, whatever. If, just comment below. So anyways, until next time, I hope you have the most, oh, wait. People probably shut this off, but if you're still on, I did want to add in that, I almost forgot this, guys, that the veil is thinning, like I had mentioned when I sent out the text. So you are going to make sure that you want to do some clearing stuff in your room before bed. That's like important with this. When the veil thins, that means that it gets easier for weird energies to come through. And when we're dealing with if we're dealing with releasing toxic energies, then weird energies, when they come through, will amplify issues that you have, and they can basically cause nightmares or have really weird dreams, or dreams that make you just feel really crappy or really upset. So they kind of work with the moon in a sense. They come in when it's easy, and then they work with the moon and kind of like attach itself to the energy you want to release and like really drum it up for you. Like, hey, how about this? This is like not awesome, right? And then so in order to avoid that for the next couple days, if you do, clear your space, clear your room before you go to bed, I would say for the next 3 days or so, you'll just want to make sure that you do that. That should help because you'll want a little extra protection. And then, of course, there's always, the gemstones that we do on spiritualgurubox.com. You'll want to make sure. We did a super cool bundle on there, actually, which I will post in my Facebook group. Because it's a moon bundle and it's a really good protection bundle. So I think that if you're in the group, go ahead and get on that and check it out. If not, you can go to spiritualgurubox.com and click on the moon phases because it's an awesome bundle. So, all right. Until next time now, I think we've wrapped this up. Have the most amazing day. Aloha.